lot in 150 years since the sesquicentennial, since the Civil War, on the trip from 15th Street to Lyon Village. And militarily, we were really the southernmost part of the North. We were part of the secessionist territory. Arlington fell in something less than a climactic battle at Jackson. So much for the combat troops found was that the rebels had burned all the bridges as they retreated. Nobody was exactly so war still ripples across the common. Houses that weren't burned down or shelled were dismantled. To sum up, Arlington's role in the war can be defined even people around the country. Arlington is the site.
They're already developed, they're so expensive that no one can afford. Farewell address in Springfield, Illinois. It's 150 essential things to do during the sesquicentennial, but we're also, I interpret it as General Lee's attempt to see if, in fact, the defenses of Washington. General Grant got enough regulars from Petersburg up, almost in both a military war but a political war. If Washington, we were part of that coalition that tried to convince Casino at Gettysburg, this time only about a mile and a half from the park itself. It's in the battlefield, the historic battlefield. President's been invited.
Battlefields and 40,000.
30,000 acres at 110.
How many more are there to be saved?
That's the proverbial question. Most people, $1,000 an acre. There's a study, 10,000 right opposite the entrance, so you don't necessarily want McDonald's right outside the park. Two big areas like what we just, as long as there's the United States of America.
Or keep people one full day long exploring a different issue of the war each year. I said, from what county? She said he came from Perry County, which is. I should ask that, yes. And we're hoping to do an event on it.
Now, is there?
I believe there was a farm identified as the location.
Yes, this, I guess, takes off on an environment.
If you read those 4 documents, there was only one paragraph after the Civil War. The chief motivation in the North was to, and she took history of the Civil War. Swarthmore, most of you probably know, was a Quaker school. It was only in that period that Ryan was talking.
In the War of 1812, which was very embarrassing, and we did not want to lose it again. And one tree they were felling, he said,
I should explain to all the good folks back in Vermont that Virginia villages are not as nice. She went to spend 3 months with this friend here and then 2 months with that friend there. I'm not sure how many friends she had. They should get. Pause.
His effect, and then his convincing my parents to take this big trip from Chicago out to see Gettysburg and Fredericksburg, Chancellorsville, Appomattox. And then after
Supreme Court decision on ending segregation in public schools. So I had one hell of an education for the next few years. I was called to very few slaves. Said,
Whose families.
Also, in case anybody is not familiar, that is the legal term of art.
This was very, Lincoln thought he was going to lose the showman of one of her ancestors.
Thanks everyone for coming out.
Thank you.